Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock, June 17, 2025. I call this meeting to order. Could I ask Mr. Keith Dyer to do the invocation?
Let's pray. Dear Father Lord, we want to thank you for this day. Thank you for another opportunity for us to gather to discuss the county business. We want to thank you for our county and all the people who are in it. Lord, we ask that you please be with us. Please bless everybody here. Give us wisdom. Give us understanding. And as always, please forgive us for all the times we've failed you. In Jesus Christ's holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. You make the decision to pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thank everyone for coming out to see. First order, I hereby approve the minutes from the May 15th, 2025 county meetings and the May 21st, 2025 county meetings. A copy of these minutes have been provided to y'all. First is business license. Everyone has been provided a copy of the list of business licenses issued in Union County from May 12th, 2025 to June 15th, 2025 for the purpose of operating a short-term rental in Union County. I hereby approve all business licenses contained the list provided, and this list will be made a part of the minutes. Number 2 is agreement. I hereby accept this agreement between Open Gov Incorporated and Union County, Georgia, dated May 30th, 2025 for software implementation and purchase for the Union County Road Department in the amount of $86,388.41 for 2025, which includes the initial implementation and conversion $19,095.40 for 2026 and $20,050.17 for 2027. This software will be used to maintain all the records of Union County Road Department and replace the current program. The current program and software utilized by Union County Road Department is old and obsolete. This will be a much needed upgrade which will help the road department maintain maintenance records more effectively for better cost management related to labor costs, material costs, and fleet management. This program will also streamline workload and paving projects for better tracking and performance of duties. Number 3 is agreement. I hereby accept this agreement between Kenneth Dyer Farms and Union County for the cutting of hay on parcel number 071-174-B12 located in the Blairville Regional Airport Industrial Park. The effective date of this agreement is May 28, 2025, and there is no cost to either party. Number 4 is agreement. I hereby accept this agreement between Geo Hydro Engineers Incorporated and Union County, Georgia for the performance of construction material testing and special inspection services during the construction of the Union County 911 call center dated June 4, 2025 in an amount not to exceed $29,736. This testing is required for a commercial job and this size to be sure that the materials used by the contractor are the correct types of materials and make sure the quality of the materials used are within certain parameters. Some of the testing includes steel inspection, concrete testing, masonry testing, structural steel inspection, and testing, etc. Number 5 is agreement. I hereby accept this agreement between Gap Group Incorporated, Green Gap, and Union County Georgia for computer-assisted mass appraisal software utilized by the Union County Tax Appraiser's Office to maintain the digest and records related to property appraisals. This also includes pricing updates, software updates, and tech support. The dues of this agreement are $5,000 for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. Number 6 is agreement. I hereby accept this agreement between the Georgia Department of Corrections and Union County for 3 work details for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. The cost of these details is $54,249.66 per detail, totaling $162,749 for the term of this agreement. This is for the detainee crews that we use for repair and maintenance throughout the county. If all 3 detail crews are not available to work, the cost to the county is adjusted according to the agreement. We are only required to pay for what the crews we are provided throughout the year. These crews mow and weed eat at the county facility, performing building maintenance supervised by the maintenance department, litter cleanup along county roads, and road maintenance supervised by the road department. Number 7, appointment. I hereby appoint Wesley Rogers to the Northeast Georgia Region 2 Emergency Medical Service Advisory Council as a representative of Union County, Georgia. This is a 3-year term set to run from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. Number 8 is contract. I hereby accept this contract between Culver's Trucking Incorporated and Union County, Georgia for asphalt resurfacing of multiple roads through the Georgia Department of Transportation Local Maintenance and Improvement Grant in the amount of $1,602,803 for 2025 LMIG roads. Union County received 4 bids for LMIG paving, with the highest being $2,009,769.19 and the lowest being Culver's Trucking Incorporated. The LMIG roads to be paved this year are as follows. Pat Caldwell Road beginning at the east end of the bridge near address 256 and going to Ball Lane, 2.56 miles. Town Creek School Road beginning at Crack Rock Church Road and going to State Highway 180, 2.18 miles. Gaddstown Road beginning at the new asphalt, which is approximately 2 miles from State Highway 60 and going to the end of the pavement, 2 miles. Number 9 is contract. I hereby accept this contract between Union County and the Georgia Department of Transportation for grant funding in the amount of $178,850 for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026 for fiscal year 2026 for the operation of Union County Transit System. Funding in the amount of $89,425 will be provided by GDOT, and Union County will contribute a match of $89,425. This funding is for Union County 5311 Transit System operation. Number 10 is contract. I hereby accept this contract between Freeman Gas and Union County for propane services in the amount of $1.39 per gallon from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. Number 11 is a grant award. I hereby accept this accountability course grant AW-ACFP-26-130-021 for family treatment court in the amount of $215,526. The grant period is from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Number 12 is a grant award. I hereby accept this accountability course grant AW-ACFP-26-299-062 for South Edgewater Drug Court in the amount of $315,407. The grant period is from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Number 13 is a grant award. I hereby accept this Accountability Court grant AW-ACFP-26-300-063 for North Edgewater Drug Court in the amount of $250,480. The grant period is from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Number 14 is a lease renewal. I hereby accept this lease renewal between the State Properties Commission on behalf of the Department of Driver Services and Union County for the use of 1,440 rentable square feet of office space located at 37 Chase Drive, Blyareville, Georgia 30512, in the amount of $1 per year. The original lease agreement dated June 6, 2024, granted the tenant the option to extend the term of the lease for additional period of 1 year each. The tenant is exercising this option to extend the lease for an additional 12-month period beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending on June 30th, 2026. Number 15 is the option to repurchase. I hereby accept this option to repurchase dated May 20th, 2025 between Adler Holding LLC and Union County, a political subdivision of the state of Georgia, for the option to repurchase 1.2 acres off of Airport Terminal Road in the amount of $30,000. The Union County Development Authority was dissolved on February 20th, 2025 by appropriate resolution of the county and in accordance with OCGA 36-62-14. All assets and liabilities of the Development Authority were transferred to Union County, Georgia. Lots within the Blyareville Airport Regional Industrial Park have restrictions that once a property is purchased, work shall commence and continue within 24 months from the date the owner acquires title to the property. If work does not commence, the Union County Development Authority can purchase the property back for the same amount it was sold for. The property was purchased by Adler Holdings LLC on October 30, 2020, and the owners were unable to commence work in the required time frame. The Union County Development Authority had been trying to purchase the property back for a couple of years, and due to the death of one of the property owners, the process was delayed. Everything fell into place around March of this year, with the property owner reaching out and making Union County aware of the property and the stipulations. Since Union County assumed all liabilities of the Development Authority, the property needs to be purchased back in the amount of $30,000, which was the amount Adler Holdings LLC paid for the property in 2020. The $30,000 was paid out of the Development Authority funds that were assumed by Union County when the Development Authority was dissolved. This property was potential to be sold to a business that fits within the perimeters of the newly created Union County Development Authority once the board meets and gets their feet under them. Number 16 is a settlement statement and limited warranty deed. I hereby accept this settlement statement and a limited warranty deed between Adler Holdings LLC and Union County, a political subdivision of the state of Georgia, for the purchase of 1.2 acres more or less located in land lots 313 and 314, 9th District, 1st section of Union County, in the amount of $30,000. Number 17, resolution R-2025-27. I hereby adopt resolution R-2025-27, adopting the retention schedules for local government records established by the Office of Georgia Archives. Revisions of this guidelines and schedules were published on April 25th, 2025, and this resolution just reaffirms that Union County will maintain records in accordance with the retention schedule. Number 18 is road abandonment. In accordance with OCGA 32-7-2B1, this constitutes as the first notice of Union County, Georgia to abandon 0.55 acres of Ivy Log Road in Union County, commonly referred to as Old Ivy Log Road. This road has not been utilized as a county road and has been maintained by Union County since Ivy Log Road was rerouted in or around 1979. And I asked Mr. Hughes, our county manager, to come up and give an update.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. I got a few things I'm gonna hit on here, it won't take too long. First of all, the construction up at the new 911 center has began. Footers in place, steel and walls are now being set. Get a chance to ride by and take a look. It's really amazing seeing these guys and the actual facility forming and taking place. We have construction scheduled, again, concrete down the golf course from contractor, a new bridge here in the next couple of weeks. It'll start up that project. Survey is complete on Cannon Creek Bridge and is now in the engineering stage on designing the new bridge. Also, the engineers will be taking a look at Town Creek Bridge up past Alexander's. We've got some damage in it, and the engineers will be taking a look at it Thursday to determine what needs to take place on that, to repair it. The road department's out continuously, working every day, paving roads, patching roads, cleaning culverts, mowing. Did see in the past couple of days where some of the roads have been mowing, seeing a lot of trash at, all the rainy seasons are behind the mowing season, so we're seeing a lot of trash on the roads. And it kind of disappoints me that people would throw garbage out on the roads and trash them up. That means, we got to spend labor going behind them now, cleaning, getting the garbage up. So, really deep down, wish people would take more pride in the county that we live in and take your trash home with you and put it in the garbage cans. Rec department, goodness, it's in full swing. We're gearing up for fall sports. We're offering a fall season for in-house rec baseball and softball. It's never happened before. We've never offered that for the kids. Some of them will play baseball and softball. It's the only sport they do. We're giving them the opportunity to continue doing some in-house work here at our Meeks Park, at our fields, and give them a longer season per se to give them an opportunity to get out and stay involved in the sports area. Also, we have the Adult League fixing to kick off. July 14th will be opening day. Had a meeting with them last night. Had a great turnout. Got a feeling we're going to wind up with more than we were expecting, but that'd be great. We'll work with it, and good to see the turnout that we had. According to what the rec department's telling us, with the kind of response we're getting back, calls on these fall sports we're coming out with, looks like the fall season registration is going to be larger than our spring. So glad to see that the community being involved and given an opportunity to do other stuff. Also, the pool is now in full-blown speed ahead. It's absolutely packed. Splash pad was a little late getting it opened up. We had some difficulties with some of the plumbing issues in it and getting chemicals and everything level out right. But now that we're sorry, it's about 2 weeks getting open to what we planned. But Miss Susan and them, they've got it open now, and the kids are loving it. Farmers markets at opening day was phenomenal. Great turnout from vendors and customers coming in. Glad to see that. For the View Grill, we've got a new chef on board. She actually came in and she changed her hours of operation a little bit. Got some new things on the menu. It's really great. If you've not been by, check their website out. You can see their hours and all on the website, what they're offering. Get a chance to go by and check them out. They've got great food. Also, here in the next couple of weeks, we're hoping that we can, a lot of y'all saw the recycled glass that we do from the transfer station. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're going to start offering that in like 30-pound, 50-pound bags for those that just want it for some flower planters or whatever small. You don't have to buy a big bulk of it. So hopefully we'll have that available within the next 2 weeks at the farmers market at you can purchase over there. Up by Herbert Reese, they're hosting a little kids camp this week, and from what I understand, the kids are having a blast up there. Glad to see them doing that. Again, giving our kids opportunity to do other things. Gun range, State Creek, campground, transfer station, they're all busy and doing great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Before I adjourn, I'd like to thank all my office staff and tell me they're doing a great job. And our transfer station is making some money, so please recycle, spread the word. So at this time, I'll adjourn the meeting and open up the question. You have any questions?
Donna, guess, where do we stand with the senior center?
I knew you were going to ask me.
Well, I'm really concerned, and I've thought a lot about it between the last meeting and this meeting. I really think we really need to figure that out.
Would you mind repeating that question to that tiny microphone right there?
Where do we stand with the senior center? We left it last month. They were a couple $100,000 short, and seniors are not getting all the services, hopefully, that they need. And you said we were renewing soon with Legacy Link, or at least it was up for renewal. So how are we moving towards resolving that issue with our seniors?
We're still investigating everything. We're trying to get the financial reports from Legacy Link to see if we can get the same grants, you know, what stage you got to go through. I think the contract starts maybe July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's going to give us time to do a whole lot, but we, in our hotel motel tax, or not hotel motel tax, but the rentals, we have gained a little money in that, so we may be looking to put that into the seniors. So just kind of bear with us. We've got a lot of work to do in the next 2 weeks to see where we can go with that, and I'm hoping we can do something with it.
So you're saying you don't necessarily have to renew with them in July, even though it's coming up pretty quickly?
If we don't, the county would have to take it over.
So you're almost forced, because we only have 2 weeks, to give them another year? Is it a year contract?
Would you like me to add on to
Yeah,
this?
that.
Ms. Guess, I've personally reached out to the CEO of Legacy Link with the issues that we need to resolve. It's my understanding from their couple paragraph contract, why yes, it goes from July 1st of this year to June 30th of next year. They don't need to know how much money we're giving them until July 11th. I left her a personal message with all my contact information and the severity of the numbers that I need, so that Union County can determine if we can do more or what we can do to supplement the senior center in more than what we already do.
So are they giving you detailed records of where all the money went?
No. It has been requested multiple times by multiple different people from this staff. They've never gotten anything. I've reached out as the county attorney to the actual CEO. I'm sure she will respond to me, and I'm sure we'll get all the information that we need, and I'm sure there was some sort of mistake on why we haven't gotten it yet. But even if we don't come up with an agreement on July 1st, that does not mean the county can't go into some sort of supplemental agreement if they agree to for a short-term thing until the issues get figured out.
Oh, that's great. Good. Thank you for working.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a possibility.
But the county's aware of it, and you guys are moving forward doing something to try to fix the problem before we just give them a whole nother year.
Correct.
Because in other counties, I mean, they are doing a really good job. So like, it's not necessarily Legacy Link. It's who's in charge here or something to that effect. So is there any?
What do you mean, who's in charge here?
Well, I mean, who's running the senior center for Legacy Link? I mean, if our next county over is doing a fantastic job and their seniors are being, fed and everything is okay. And here we are in Union County, $300,000 or whatever you said that we're short. That's a big shortfall. So
I don't know how much is short. I know their grants have been cut some places. I don't know.
Right.
I know a lot of previous years in the senior center, a lot of money came from fundraisers. I'm just making an educated guess.
Right.
I doubt the last 4 years have been great with charitable giving.
Right. Oh, I totally agree.
And that's just a guess.
Yeah.
I don't have any numbers to back that up, but I've reached out to the CEO.
Yeah.
I've asked for the financials and the numbers that we need, and hopefully we can get this figured out.
Is it possible to get, there are a few people in the county that probably would volunteer to be able to help to see what's going, with what you're doing, you're figuring out what's going on, to be able to, I don't know about creating a board, but to be able to work with the county and Legacy Link to be able to, as you go forward, know more about what's going on and how our money's being spent, or are we just blindly giving them this money and we have no say-so, or like you said, we're not getting
Well, the money is
accountability.
for running the day-to-day operations.
Right,
Which they would have never been given that money in the first place if it would have cost the county less to do it.
okay,
Okay?
agreed.
I mean, that's just,
Mhm.
we don't, if the county can do it on its own cheaper,
Mhm.
and they have the manpower to do it,
Mhm.
that's what we try to do.
Okay,
If we can sub out something where someone gives an excellent product for a cheaper price, and it's, because we don't have a lot of manpower here, then that's what we do. I hate that grants have been cut, and I hate that it went from 5 days to 3 days. We're going to try to figure that out. As far as an independent board to be in a go-between, that's
Well,
not my
just-
wheelhouse. But
well, exactly, but I mean, I was just asking, is there any way the people that are concerned about it in the community can get more involved and help?
absolutely, go down there and volunteer. Go down there and actually volunteer.
But I mean, knowing what's going on, it seems to be the issue. Accountability for how the money's being spent so that it can run a little smoother over the next year or, into the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's gotten that way more than just over the last year. It's taken a few years to get to the point where we're now, when the funding's cut, they have no idea what they're going to do for that shortfall. So,
There's always information and fixes. It's just everybody has to have appropriate communication.
exactly. So who would be the person that you would go to be able to help and find out what's
I
going on?
went
at the city?
directly to the CEO of Legacy.
Yeah, I understand that, but like if I wanted to know and I wanted to help more,
I
who
would
do you
just
go
say,
to?
I would say for you,
Mhm,
if you want to know more,
mhm.
because I've given you every piece of information I have.
Right, and I'm not accusing
I
you
would
of not
say,
getting
no, ma'am,
information.
I'm just saying, if you want to know more, I would go down to the senior center themselves.
Uh-huh,
I'd ask to volunteer and just ask questions.
okay. So is there somebody from Legacy Link down there?
Yeah, someone manages it from Legacy.
Okay, so they should be able to answer the questions. Okay, great. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Hi, Commissioner. Thanks for this opportunity. This is my first meeting here. Two quick things to do with roads. I know there's going to be a traffic circle put in by the state eventually at Pat Caldwell and 129 Murphy Highway. I was wondering if any way the state could put in traffic lights until that's done, because it could be, I don't know if it's a year, 2, 3 years from now. And I've lived in towns with traffic circles and they work okay, but the congestion in that area the last few years, we live off of Pat Caldwell's pretty bad, and I was wondering if maybe the state, if somebody's put it out to them until they do the traffic circle, if they could put, 3-way lights in there, regular traffic lights on that.
I think it was a week or a couple weeks ago, whenever they had the ribbon cutting out at the North Tech, I talked to Senator Gooch. He gave me a name for GDOT. We have not got that meeting set up yet. We're going to call him in and Senator Gooch in and maybe Stan Gunner, and we're going to try to get something done, because I understand it could be at least 5 years before they start on that road. So when we get all of us together, we can see if we can get, like I said, maybe a temporary light. maybe go ahead and build a roundabout if they're gonna build one, so they don't have to spend more money to take something down. But I'm hoping in the next week or two, we can all get together and maybe work out a plan. So, we need something down there.
Okay, thank you. One other quick thing, safety related, the county roads at nighttime, it's probably been this way in Union County and northern Georgia, I noticed for probably many years. It's hard to see the roads at night, and reflectors, a lot of states and counties have reflectors to help you, the outline of the road, so that you can actually see the curves. It's all curves up here and up and down. So I was wondering the possibility of more reflectors or things where you can recognize the road, so you don't, people don't go off the side of the road, things like that.
Well, on the state road, that would be up to them, but on the county road, we're gonna be, probably the next week or two, maybe putting out, getting some bids on restriping some of these roads, that the stripes are, the paint only lasts a couple of years, 3 years, and it ain't as good as it used to be, so we're gonna try to get some bids on restriping some of these roads, it is easier to see.
Is there a possibility of adding more reflectors throughout the county roads?
I'm not sure how that works on county roads, that reflectors,
Okay.
a lot of times, when you got snow, after you plow snow, you plow the reflectors off and have to replace them. I think a good restriping would help out a lot, on some of these roads.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, this is how it works. I'm Christy. I have been here a few times about the senior center, and I'm here again because, I know there are things going on and we talk about grants, but I think people need to understand Legacy has been very involved in the Union County Senior Center for many years. If there was a change in management and some hiccups, it would be good that there's always good, strong communications between the county and the senior centers, so you can deal with those before it actually affects Meals on Wheels, people having their meals cut, or looking at a new budget year and scrambling to figure out what you might do so that people that are, and I currently, I have spent the last month looking to get money from people. I have gone out and I've delivered a lot of meals to wonderful community members, many disabled, that are so glad to have that. Some have been cut back, and others have been told if they want to continue to get the meals until things are sorted out, that they will have to pay for them. So the good news is we got more people to volunteer, so we've got a good crew to deliver Meals on Wheels. But it would be when you have a brand new person running Legacy, they have now a second person, and there is time it takes to get oriented on where you are and what the community seniors need. So it's really important for the county to help make that center a success. We're all community, whether we're Union County or we live here, but our seniors are important. I also talked to Kathy, who was a Legacy person who worked in the senior, managed it for years. And it was great to talk to her about, she worked on grants with the county. She has so many positive things to say about Legacy. So we've gotten off some reason, and again, I know the people that I've worked with and gotten to know down there are working hard so that they can offer the services the seniors want. The other thing, I went and looked at the county's budget for the senior center, and see, the good news is they're actually under budget for the first 5 months. So the budget for the year was $192,500, and actually they're almost $140,000 under budget. So I would hope, I know some of that is water and electric, but we're certainly not showing we're overspending out of their budget. So I think it'd be really important if the county and the money that's there to look to make sure it helps them. So it's $5 a meal for a senior. They're at home, you know, they're looking for a hot meal that so many of them worked all their lives and are so glad there are services out there to support them. So I wanted to mention that. The other thing I did, I kind of got some figures from the finance department for Union County, and it's very hard to say exactly how many seniors are paying taxes, because not all may necessarily get the senior discount or whatever that criteria is for taxes, because some either may not live here full time, some may not meet the criteria. But we know we've got 2,500 seniors that fall under the senior property tax. I looked it up and I see that the average property tax is $1,650 a year. So that's over $4 million that seniors pay into our taxes. Yet when you look at the budget for the senior center, it's about half of 1%. So I think we need to keep all that in perspective, and seniors are an important part of this whole community. So I would just like to, I've put a lot of effort in the last month. I'm so glad we have a good amount of drivers now, because what happens if they don't have drivers to go out, then the two legacy people, where they have to find somebody to drive around and get those meals out. So it takes away from other duties they may have. So I just wanted to give a little more information and hope that, you know, hopefully you can go or get in the paper and say, you know, it is a community and the seniors are an important part of it. It's great that we can look at hotel taxes, but I'm getting the word out. I'd really like to see a lot more people. You have a fundraiser idea, I'm sure they're more than open to it. I know, again, Kathy, the previous manager, is down there trying to help them. So it's all about helping each other so we can make sure our seniors get their food and they can have some social events to keep them part of the community and keep them healthy. Thank you.
That $4 million figure that you throw out there, about 2.5 million of that is school.
Okay, so we give a lot to the school.
School gets
And we get about
60-something%, I believe, 60-something% of the property
And the
tax.
senior budget is less than 1% of, again, maybe it's a little more, but that's a low percentage for a community that I think, even though the property taxes, you don't know for sure, you're talking about 40 to 50% of seniors. And I hear things, and I think that's great, that we're expanding sports and we're getting more kids involved, you know, in fall sports and stuff. But on the other side, I still think those seniors that are waiting for meals, and we're doing everything to do for $5 a meal, everybody can help so that they're taken care of.
We were thinking we were getting $4 million and actually the school getting about 2.5 million.
Well, if you want to redo the figures to determine what percentage of the taxes actually go to our senior center, that would be fine. But the good news is we're under budget, so there is some money there that we have available.
Let's back up just a little bit, what you just commented about the rec department on the kids having to pay. The kids and everybody that I'm talking about for the fall sports, it's not free. They pay to participate. Along with the adult league softball, they pay to participate. It's nothing free. They everyone pay.
So it doesn't come, there's no money out of our taxes. Is that what you're saying?
They pay to participate.
So there's no money for the recreation area from the taxes. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it comes, we pay the people, the rec department, the employees, we pay them. But the people, the kids, the parents of the kids are paying entry fee that goes toward that funding.
So it's kind of a community cooperation with the county? Really?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. Yeah, we
And
work
that's-
together, but
we're
it's
just
not
looking for a
free.
little
I mean, they have
more
to.
support for the senior program.
But they don't have, it's not free. They have to pay to participate.
So again, I hope everybody here, you have fundraiser ideas, you know people that can volunteer to get the word out. Thank you.
You comment on that budget you talking about?
Yes. As far as the budget, my name is Kay Wilcox, and I'm the finance director of Union County. As far as the budget is concerned, we don't make the decision how much the school gets. The taxes are completely separate. We set a mill rate and the school sets a mill rate. So we don't support the schools with our tax dollars that we get for our budget, but the school has their own tax base and sets that mill rate. As far as the 1% for the senior center, they are under budget. We have been paying we pay utilities, we pay the upkeep, we pay all of that. And then there's an agreement annually between the county and Legacy Link. We made that agreement, but we didn't receive an agreement until just recently for this year. In the past, it's been $100,000 to $109,000. So it's my understanding we just got an agreement and we're looking at this, but we can't give them money. We can't just hand out tax dollars.
Right.
We have to have an agreement with them.
Right, but you do this every year, so what kind of became different this year than
From our standpoint, nothing changed, but I'll let the commissioner speak to that.
Does anybody out there know why that Legacy, that the senior center is in the position it's in now? Does anybody know why they had to cut the money?
You said because of the grants,
No.
the shortfall.
A grant may have put a little effect on it, but that's not it. Poor manager, right. There was a bus bought for $120,000 before I took office that pulled down from Liberty Link Reserve. That is what got Liberty Link in a bind, and that's the reason the mills were cut. It was poor management, so don't blame the county, don't blame me for not funding them, because it was the previous administration out there that bought that bus and pulled the reserve down. If other counties, their reserves stayed up, so they're doing good. If this bus hadn't been purchased, we would still be giving 5 mills a day. So that's the problem.
So they asked for a bus, the county approved it.
They didn't ask. The bus, I'm sure Liberty Link didn't approve this bus. It was bought without the authorization
And
from Liberty.
in the end, who paid for the bus?
The county bought it, and then they pulled the reserve out of Liberty Link to pay the county back. So Liberty Link, the money came out of Liberty Link.
So again, Legacy ended up paying for the bus. So now we're talking about, there's an issue on a bus or the money. But it still means there's money in the senior account that people, if that money, and really I believe there's a match, we pay something, the state pays something, and the federal government pays something.
We give them
know that will change.
$109,000 under contract.
Excuse me?
We give them $109,000 under contract is what we give them.
Well, that's what you've given them some years. I'm sure that's
I
not what you've
think
done
it's
for all
every year.
years.
So, just real quick, because I think this conversation is getting to a place that it don't necessarily need to be. Because the reality is, everyone wants to support not only their senior relatives, but their senior friends, their neighbors. That's not the issue here. The issue is not we don't want to support seniors, or we don't want to support kids, or we don't want to support whatever else. There was issues with poor management of buying assets that somehow got, I can't even understand why that whole thing happened. But that's not a legal question for me, so I get to skip that one. There's grants that aren't fully paid anymore, okay? Because a bunch of people's grants got cut. There is charitable giving that has gone down year after year because of inflation and everything else. Everybody wants to support the seniors. The county, my client, got a letter on June 13th, and what's the date? The 17th. They got a letter on June 13th of this year that said, hey, we want you to sign this in 2 weeks and give us $284,610. The commitment for 1 year. Okay? My client hadn't even said no yet. My client said, how can we give them this money if we don't even know where the money goes? And I'm not, please don't take that as me going Legacy Link ain't doing what they're supposed to do. They have been doing a great job for a long time. Everybody can make mistakes. However, I think it's an amalgamation of all these problems. But we do need to know where the financials are now, because if that $284,000 makes the 5 meals a day happen again, great. If that $284,000 will only make 2 meals a week, how does that solve anybody's problem?
Well, they get some food during the week. I guess the other point, what changed this year? If this has been going on for years, and you give money, everybody kind of knew each new budget year, federal government grants are being cut. So, at some point, when you know their fiscal year is July 1st, they're going through changes of management. Who here reached out to say, we don't want this to come down to the wire because we care about our seniors? What can we do to be proactive so we're not in this he said, she said, but then you have...
Well, I can tell you for months on this side, for months, we have been asking for the financials to try to figure out what the county can do to help the senior center get back to what it was before it was cut.
So there are letters and legal documents that say you've been asking and asking?
Emails, people calling, people talking to people and say, we'll give you this. Been in-person meetings, am I correct?
We met with the CEO, the CFO, and one of the district managers over this center about 2 months ago.
Met with people in person asking for this, and it's not, let's just get something clear. There is not an issue of Legacy Link versus the county. There's not an issue of senior center versus rec department or whatever else. If you came up to me and said, I need to pay my mortgage, I'm deficient, and I asked you for some financials to see, okay, if I'm going to help you, let me see it where I know where it's going.
Right.
That's all I'm at. That's all that's being asked.
And I understand that, but I'm questioning some of it because I did an open records request and I asked for the minutes. I'm just trying to help and know what's really going on. I'm really finding it pretty difficult. But I asked for a copy of those minutes. What I got was 8 questions. It did not say who was in on the meeting. They answered every question. They gave figures. And then there was nothing saying what our commissioner had to say, who from Legacy was there. It was a weird set of, I guess, minutes, but it was 8 questions with specific answers.
It was not a public meeting. There were no minutes taken. What you got were the notes I took for us.
Those were the CEO and the people that were there?
Those were the answers they provided us.
And it was
The
figures.
commissioner took in specific questions because he had specific questions for them. That's what you got. And then you got Legacy Link's answers to those questions. That's all the notes that we took. It was not an official public meeting, so we didn't take minutes.
Okay, but there were figures. There were definitely figures
It was verbal.
given.
But I know when you see something like that, you're like, well, I see a number written down here. So that's what it is. But when it was verbal, correct?
It was
There wasn't.
correct.
Conversation.
It
There
was
was
a
no
conversation with no actual documentation.
Right. There was no agenda.
And so what would be best for all of Union County citizens, everybody who's paid taxes and even doesn't pay taxes, and everybody who lives here, is that if Union County is going to spend more tax dollars to make sure the senior center gets to where it needs to be, okay, then we don't need to do that off of, I promise you it's this, all you need is my word.
That's, again, I don't know if you want to go or you've read those, but when I asked, it was 8 questions. They gave very specific answers, which was, to me, now that we're talking, a really good starting point to say, you know, we have questions, we need to get it done, but now we've got figures that are concerning to move ahead. But now we've lost 2
So-
months.
You're correct in that the meeting was great, and that was a great starting point. But when you ask for documentation for it, and you don't get it, that's when the lawyer eventually has to get involved, okay? And so, I'm sure I will get communication back this week. I am sure I'm gonna get everything we asked for, and I'm sure our more than capable financial director can look at it and go, okay, this is how much needs to be spent for this to do the 5 meals a week. And that's based off of how many volunteers are there and everything else and whatever else. I'm sure there's something, because everything I hear from every meeting about the senior center that I'm here on is, what are we gonna do to get it back to where it was? As far as, like, we're talking about 5 meals and went down to 3 meals. And if that's the biggest concern of the citizens, then if we're going to supplement that to make it back to 5, that's where I need to come in and make sure that this money is supporting the 5 meals. Not just, here's the money, run the business as well. It's like, okay, well, this money needs to be allotted specifically for these meals, so you do 5 meals a day. So at least that gets that helps with you with your concerns and a lot of other people's concerns.
And that's the goal, that Union County, the senior center work together so that our seniors get their Meals on Wheels, they can come into the, that's
The
great.
senior center's
Absolutely.
got to be
I think this
accountable.
question is when, it's going to go with the next question, please.
They will be.
I promise it ain't about the senior center. Okay. Hey, I'm Robin. Am I? Hello. Question on Agreement 6, where you guys are saying that the Georgia Department of Corrections and Union County is going in together with 3 details, and you're spending this much money. Are you guys getting with Caldwell Detention Center and utilizing that?
That is,
Or
that's
is that
the
something
agreement
totally
with Caldwell
different?
Detention Center.
Okay, so
That's-
that's what, getting with them to make sure that they're getting paid, their crew's getting paid, not the people, but not the inmates, but the workers. And then the cost of to do it, right?
I'm going to assume the workers are getting paid because if I wasn't getting paid, I wouldn't work there.
Yeah, but what do we do with our jail? When I used to work at the jail years ago, and they would take people out to go do things, it was free labor,
Yeah.
okay? The only people we had to pay was the actual jailers
Yes.
that was paying attention and all that. And then, of course, everything that costs to do whatever. So
That's what
more-
that's for.
So that's okay.
That's what that's for. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
for the officer, yeah.
Okay. The other question is, we don't have any dates on your development authority when you guys when we can, as the public, can go to their meetings. I haven't seen anything on Facebook, haven't seen anything on
I don't
y'all's.
think that one
Not
up
set yet.
That's
Not set yet?
Some of them are on vacation or waiting, everybody gets back
Yeah.
together.
Okay, so where will you be actually utilizingly putting it so that we can find it when you actually when they decide with their first meeting or whatever?
Newspaper, website.
Okay, great.
Union County's
And their
website.
website is different, obviously, than,
Right now, we're going to use Union County's website.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Anyone else?
Good evening. Quorum, Commissioner, thank you so much. I just want to see if there's still a noise ordinance rule in effect.
It's an amplified sound ordinance.
Oh.
It's not a noise ordinance.
Okay, whatever you call it now, is there
It's-
still one in effect?
It's an amplified
sir.
sound ordinance, so that would be like radios, amplifiers, speakers, stuff like that. It doesn't go to me being a loudmouth, standing
Oh, no,
outside.
that's not what I'm getting at. I live in a little peninsula, Canal Lake Road. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
You live in,
Down
you
Canal
live in a
Road.
cove on the lake?
Yes, yes. And don't get me wrong, I'm, retired, quiet. But now that the season's ramping up, and I get it, Friday night, However, during the week, is there a noise ordinance to prevent people from firing off firecrackers? Getting really loud with amplification music, and just really, I can't get a good night's sleep after, till going on till 2 in the morning. Do I have the right to call the police to, to shut this down?
Yeah, if
Okay.
someone's blaring music,
For peace and quiet?
yeah, there's,
Just community style.
there's it's 10 p.m., after 10
Okay, that's
p.m.,
still in effect?
then call. You
And
need-
then the boat ramp down there, as far as, I try to set a good example, I'll go down there and pick up trash that people, but like you were saying before, Mr. Hughes, it's up to citizens to pack up and pack it out to keep our community clean. And there is but I'm finding bobbers, fish hooks, fish lines. I'm just saying, I know there's lots of signs there and everything, but I guess it's just up to us or DNR to set the good example to maintain in that, in our little space or community, to keep it clean and respectable. Is that how it goes? Does DNR control those boat ramps?
Yeah, DNR can give out tickets. Any,
But the county doesn't control the maintenance of those ramps.
no, it's TVA, isn't it?
Okay. And
Hold on, there's,
the Lake Nottingham Green Association.
we maintain them. There's some agreements in place between DNR, TVA, with some of the boat ramps and some
The
not.
Lake Notley Association also does.
Yeah.
Looks like every-
Yeah, and I don't know them off the top of my head, which ones.
Which boat ramp is she talking about?
Yes.
As far as a
Canal Lake.
violation, okay? As far as a violation of littering,
I think that we
which would be a misdemeanor under Georgia criminal law, any law enforcement person can write a citation for that. Whether that be DNR, whether that be Sheriff's Department, whoever.
Yes. In the last 10 years, with the exploding population, it never, was such a necessity for cleanliness, just to be aware of how important it is to keep our lake and community respectable and clean. But thank you so much, and that's all I have tonight.
Anyone else?